The EarSauce podcast.
Wait, so have you guys ever been on like a Zoom call and something weird has happened to you?
Oh my god.
I know someone that was like on his balcony vaping and he didn't realize his camera was on and no one told him in the meeting until after. And like, yeah, he got mocked hard by his manager, asking what were you doing? Do you guys have any embarrassing stories?
That is a bit peak for that certain individual.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I feel like Manny's trying to allude to something here, or trying to.
It was me. That's me.
Was it actually?
Yeah. It was like last summer. It was like I was in the meeting and that, and then it was a nice day. I had my coffee there. I was having my vape on the balcony, whatnot, and then chilling. And then I was on a meeting at the same time, not realizing that my camera was on the whole time. And then basically, the person that told me was saying that I was blowing fumes all over the camera. Like,
Bro. That is hilarious, bro. That is hilarious.
I brought the hood.
Oh my days.
It's like unintentional disrespect. Like, you rubbed it in.
That's it.
Oh my days. Oh my word.
Oh my god.
It's me. Nah, do you know what? Yeah. After Manny, I'm gonna tell you a story about a guy I know. So there was a guy, yeah, who was on a business call with Apple, and he was with his account managers and stuff. And he went to screenshot something. And he said take screenshots, and instead of hitting that, he hit the enable camera button on his laptop, and it just caught him filming. And I was just filming him in like a compromised
What's this
position.
guy called? Oh, very interesting. What's this guy called? Do you know?
He's called a human being. But he was in a compromised position, and I heard he tried to turn it off. But instead of
what does compromised position mean? Like for the
Right.
layman?
like, you know when you're laying your stomach, but you're clutching a pillow, and you got your head to the side, you know, one of their ones. Legs may or may not be dangling. It depends on the mood. So it was, that was the sort of compromised position this certain individual was in. So it was kind of peak for them. It's kind of peak. And then they tried to turn the camera off, and then in the max you got the green light to say camera's on. The person covered up the green light, but didn't realize until it was too late. And then remembered, oh yeah, there's a touch bar. Let me just hit the camera off button there.
Would it be fair to say this person's a complete and utter fucking idiot?
Mate, all of this transpired over the space of like 5 or 10 seconds. So I'm hoping at screenshot time no one else took screenshots for that person anyway. But
Is this person?
It would be really bad for you, Ollie, if they did take a screenshot.
oh, not bad for me, but bad for them, really.
Oh, for them, my bad for them.
Is this person like a top or bottom?
I don't know how to answer that. A top or bottom?
Choose one. What sounds natural to you?
I don't understand.
Just answer the question, Ollie. Is this person the top or bottom?
The top, I don't know, the top.
Okay, good. It makes sense. Right.
Oh my days.
I'm dead. Oh, wow. You lot killed me today.
Cool. Welcome, everyone. This is the EarSauce podcast, 4 minutes in. It's myself, Manny. Follow us on EarSauce Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at EarSauce_. Follow us on Twitter with the same handles at EarSauce_ as well. You can follow me, Emmanuel, on Twitter, Emmanuel890. Ollie, Mr. Top Man, you want to give your details?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at OCClark_10.
Afia.
You can find me at EarSauce.afia, and that's on Twitter and Instagram.
Dope. Matt.
You can find me on Twitter by following one of those guys and looking out for when they message me. Boom.
Yeah.
Same thing on Instagram.
Oh, retweet. We tend to retweet.
Or retweet, yeah. Ollie will retweet all my shit anyway, so yeah.
Stay active with that retweet button. You know, yeah, to this day, I still don't know how to read a Twitter timeline properly. It just confuses me, man. I think I need to get a new Twitter client.
To be fair, you don't know how to come up a camera on a laptop either, so you know it's not surprising.
You got exposed, man.
I don't know who he's talking about. I do IT. That would be really embarrassing if I didn't know how to turn off a camera.
Alright, cool. Afi, you said that there was a topic you wanted to kick off the pod with.
I just wanted to ask you guys what your favourite biscuits are. What's your top favourite biscuit?
Ooh, let me go first. So there are an assortment of biscuits, yeah, that deserve to be spoken about. But I haven't had biscuits in ages. But right now, Fox used to use like all butter crinkle biscuits. And it's literally just like melt in your mouth heaven. So like, I think they're called like butter crunch or something like that. It's just like a basic biscuit, but like the ratios are perfect.
Are these the soggy ones that go soggy in your mouth?
No. They got a crunch, like butter biscuits.
Yeah, because I actually make butter biscuits. Are these like star-shaped?
No, they're circle.
Okay.
But you know how butter biscuits are.
I think I know the ones you're talking about, though. It's like they're crispy, they'll snap, but once you start eating them, they will melt.
Yeah. And it's just...
what's your best bit? Is it the crunch or is it when it gets like soggy in your mouth?
It's just the flavor. Oh my days!
Ollie was about to answer that as well. Oh my god!
I was about to say it's the flavors. Yeah.
I love this mouth, man.
No, but it's like the right amount of sweet, and before it gets too sweet, the butterness kicks in, and it's just smooth. It's a nice.
Hold tight, you with it.
That or chocolate hobnobs.
I was trying to get him with the soggy biscuit for a little while still.
I didn't even see that, my dumb ass. But yeah, that or chocolate hobnobs or party rings.
Okay. Who else?
Custard creams.
Oh.
Classic. Okay.
Wait, you say Jaffa cake?
Jaffa cake's not a biscuit. So they
cake.
Yeah. Something like that. It was. Oh wait, what? They tried to change the definition of what they are just to avoid some sort of tax in it, but yeah.
It's actually a cake because if you leave it out, the cake goes hard, biscuits go soft. Leave out a Jaffa cake and see what happens.
I don't even like Jaffa cake, so.
Oh, I love Jaffa cakes.
You got poor taste, bro.
Yeah, I love them. I bought some different types today. They've got
and
cherry now.
It's the potato hater saying I've got poor taste. Please shut the fuck up.
I have fine-tuned taste. I get rid of the garbage. Jaffa cake slap.
Right.
Does no one like a good old-fashioned chocolate digestive?
Nah, hobnobs are better.
See, I don't think so. I think digestives are better. Hobnobs are too hard for me. Like
digestives are better. I had
too hard.
Yeah, like when you're chewing it, it's too gritty.
What's wrong with your teeth?
I just like the texture's it's too coarse. But a digestive is softer. I don't know how to explain it.
I know what you mean. Digestive just crumbles.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like powder with a bit of crunch.
Yeah. And what about you, Matt?
He's gonna say Viennese something of like.
Those are banging.
Oh, I love those. They're my second favourite.
But my favourites, if you like, it's the weird one, isn't it? It's like if someone says to you, "What's your favourite car?" for example, right? I might say something like a Lamborghini or whatever. But when it really comes down to it, my favourite car of all time is probably second more practical. You know what I mean? So it's like when it comes to biscuits, yeah, those Fox's ones are probably like the best, just in pure taste. But what would I actually want to eat all the time? It's probably like some digestives or hot chocolate. You can't go wrong with that. So
Yes, do you know what? Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. Viennese swirls from Fox's are my favorite, like, extravagant biscuit.
you
But
can't eat
they're
them
too
all day,
much
every
to eat
day.
all the time. So my favorite
Yeah.
to eat on a regular is a chocolate digestive.
In light of that, then I want to change mine. Co-op do in their finest range, so it's like £2 for like a box of 10 biscuits, but they do these all butter and stem ginger biscuits,
Yummy.
and they are divine.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like the finest or irresistible range or something like that. But they bang.
Yeah. All right, I might have to give those a try.
Nice.
All right, well, that was enlightening. Should we move on to our first review?
Yeah, let's review the interview. Let's review Oprah. Oprah
You want
meets
to go
Harry
straight
and
into
Meg.
it?
Fuck it, let's go. I feel like, do you know what? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't think the music was great this week, so let's just get into let's get into the buzz topic of the week, probably the month ahead, right? Harry and Meg went and had an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Or actually, Oprah went to them because the interview took place at their house, and it was like a bit of a tell-all on their experience over the last few years being part of the royal family. The interview started off with Meg telling her story, how she was experiencing life, if you like, currently and previously. And then Harry later joined them and shared his thoughts on the whole situation as well. So, guys, this was what it broadcast on American networks on Sunday night. I think it was shown on ITV on Monday night. What were your thoughts, guys?
Who would like to go first? Okay,
Uh,
fine.
I'll go first because I'll be
Okay,
fast.
go on. Okay.
I haven't seen it. I just watched snippets.
Oh my god! How did you watch it? Like you're okay.
Do you know what? Yeah, I just didn't want to waste 2 hours on something that I knew anyway. So I
Wasn't that
just
long?
watched. I read a condensed breakdown of what happened and watched snippets, and I felt like what they were saying was very genuine from what I saw.
What's your thoughts on what's been said and society's reaction to it?
I'm actually shocked at the amount of people that are still saying Megan's just causing a ruckus or anything like that. It doesn't, like from what I saw, it doesn't seem like that was her intention to just go in and destroy the family or be difficult. And it just seems like she's had hardship upon hardship. And the people that are saying or going against Megan, it seems like they're overlooking all of the stuff that molester guy does in the royal family. So it's a bit of a weird one. And it kind of shouts undertone racism to me, but I don't want to label it that. I don't know. It's just like them people are just stupid. But the people that have come out in support, I applaud them. Like I saw one thing of Alan Sugar. I think he said before the interview came out that he sides with Piers Morgan, and then after he watched it, it's almost like he changed his perspective.
That's not quite what happened. It was a case of Alan Sugar said that previously. He previously come out and said he doesn't like Meg. So it wasn't a case of a sudden change of heart. It was a change of heart that took like a period of time. And I guess
okay.
it was after watching the interview as well. But yeah, I just think to myself, a lot of people just made up their own minds with regards to what they think about this woman without having any sort of inkling about anything about her. Does that make sense? They just make it up as they go along, and they're being led by the press. And this isn't a new phenomenon, really, because this is what the press does in any country. If you go back through time, the press is what usually had the biggest influence on the people of a country. That and the state broadcasters. So when they run wild on checks and keep making up bullshit stories, and no one's there correcting them, no one of any influence corrects them, then this is what happens, and that's basically Meg's story. She's had a whole bunch of lies told about her, and no one's ever backed her up. No one's ever taken the time to say, "Hey, that's not how the story goes," or whatever. But she just had to kind of deal with that, and I think it's pretty sad. I've always felt to myself that the stories, as they were written, weren't correct, because you could see the blatant bias. I think we discussed this briefly last week. You could see the blatant bias between the stories that were written about Kate and what were written about Meg on the same subject matters. But now with the interview, you're getting Meg saying it firsthand that some of the stuff that came out, some of the stories that came out, just were complete bollocks. And even one of them, I think it was still her and Kate, about how Meg made Kate cry. It was actually the other way around. But Meg never had the platform or permission, whatever way you want to put it, to actually say anything when that story came out. So she had to just go on with her day to day, with the whole country thinking, "Oh my God, this bitch Meg has made the future Queen of England cry for seemingly no reason." So yeah, I just think to myself that the interview just provided some facts for people, or at least facts from Harry and Meg's perspective, which I actually believe to be true because they come across so sincere, and I don't really see why they would lie in this situation, especially Harry. But yeah, that's my view.
You see, a lot of people have been bringing this back to whether or not Meghan, because we're all now talking about whether or not she's this really awful person behind the scenes because they've slandered her so much. When whether or not she is that type of person anyway is irrelevant, because there's very obvious, blatant racism going on. We can all see it. It's there. So how can I put this? Even if she is a bitch, even if she is this heinous, god-awful human being, she still does not deserve to be treated in this manner, irrespective of whatever type of person she is. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I've seen this justification floated around, and everybody is talking about this woman's personal character as if it would justify and make her deserving of this treatment. You know? I mean, I'm just... Go on.
I'll say, if you, just to back up what you're saying, if you put it this way, right? If she was someone that was genuinely this negative person, does it make her responsible for the deforestation of the rainforest because she eats avocado?
Yeah, exactly. We all know.
What? This is just stupid. But yeah. That is literally what the people are saying. They're saying this is Meg's fault. It's not Meg's fault. But yeah, it's so wild what was happening, and for the life of me, I just can't get my head around how people can be. This is a conversation I can go into many different layers about. But one of the things I'll say here, I think this kind of shows you how the general population of this country has shown a few times in recent years how much they lack critical thinking. Because we can talk about Brexit as one example, but this is another. How can someone literally read these stories and then believe that Meg is a negative person? Like, when it's quite clearly put in front of you that Kate in the same situation is written about completely differently. Like, how can you not see that there's a bias here? But I just feel like the people in this country, United Kingdom, England, they struggle to put together dots on a page that are like huge dots to draw lines between, and they just fail to do it. But yeah.
Well, one thing I really want to discuss is how this interview has been received. Manny, you haven't spoken, actually. You haven't given your opinion, but do you want to do that? And then I really want to talk about the reception of this interview.
You're flowing. Go.
Are you sure? Thank you. Because going further into how it's been received, I think like, damn it, I forgot what my point was going to be. So, for example, Piers Morgan this morning with Alex Beresford, right? And it's caused I think I'm so proud of Harry and Meghan because, in my opinion, what they have done is essentially dropped the veil of mystery, surrounding this institution that represents a class system in this country, right? This is my personal opinion. The monarchy by having a monarchy in this country, you enforce a class system. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I personally feel like that's why they don't want to abolish the monarchy, and conservatives love the monarchy so much, because they help to keep that mental institutionalized class system in place. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I think Harry, the way he spoke about the relationship with his family and the tabloids, for example, and he just outed all the nitty and gritty. Yes, there's a racist in the family. There's some fucked up people in my family, and he was
questioning what the baby's skin color is going to be, stuff like that.
Yes, exactly. Talking about the child's skin color potentially, you know. And
to me, I'm pretty sure that was either Charles or William from the way he described it. He said that his grandmother has never been anything but loving towards him. But there was a conversation had between senior royals, and that came up. So it could only be William or Charles, I believe.
Yeah, I think the bigger picture here, though, is they have done something so many people, generations of people have been trying to do, which is drop the veil on this sort of elitist institution that continues to perpetuate these, like, you know, this imperialist mindset, right? And just bring them down to basics in their raw form and present them to us. You know, I'm from the inside of this institution. I can tell you for fact it's rotten inside. This is it, right? And I think it's causing a discussion across this nation that I almost never thought I'd see in my lifetime. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I feel like this is a seismic change for our nation. And the discussion, for example, with Alex Beresford and Piers Morgan on ITV this morning, to me, exemplified that. You had this privileged white man who's exactly the type of person who will say, I'm not a racist, you know, I'm a metropolitan sort of, you know, accepting rah-rah-rah type of white guy despite my elitist, classist background, whatever. And then when he was confronted with one of his, you know, I have black friends. And then when he was confronted with one of his black friends, being frank and candid with him on TV about this, the man could not take it and had to actually get up and walk away on TV. Do you get, for the whole nation to see? And I think these discussions and how it's going to affect even the way the black community views itself and its identity as black British in this country, I think it's really going to make people question even if they can identify as black and British in this country.
Honestly, I don't know if that's going to happen. And the reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, there's a discussion. That's the hardest. Oh man, this is what I hate about these discussions sometimes, right? There's so many layers to them. We could talk about this for like 5 hours and still just be scratching the surface. And the reason I was going to say here is because ultimately, right, if you're a black person born in Britain, even if you're someone like myself who's very much in touch with his cultural ancestors, whatever. I'm Jamaican. I've been to Jamaica many times. I understand my Jamaican roots. If I go to Jamaica, the locals there would not consider me Jamaican. They'd consider me a foreigner. So if I'm not Jamaican and if I'm not black and British and I'm not, what am I? You know what I mean? So I can't just relinquish being black British and then become what, you know what I mean? But my point is anyway, is that this whole situation with the royal family is fucked. The Queen's come out today saying that she wasn't aware of how Meg felt, or so not just Meg, Harry and Meg's situation at the time. I find that difficult to believe considering what was said in the interview, especially if Harry saying that he spoke to his grandmother on multiple occasions, stuff like that. So how she was unaware, is it that she was a bit, she wasn't really listening to them? Was she naive to the level of suffering that they were having, that they were receiving, that they were enduring? I don't know. I think to myself, the fact that Harry says he's not talking to his dad and to his brother, that is really extremely important. And this is what I said last week as well. I said last week that William's the worst one because he could have supported his brother, and it shows that Harry felt that he wasn't being supported because that's why he's not talking to his brother. So with that, or the fact his brother was just plain racist or something, I don't know. But yeah, that interview was explosive, man. It was really explosive. The fact that the dad came out the next day and said, "Oh, he doesn't think the royal family's racist." I don't understand what he's based that on.
Wait, who's dad?
Meghan Markle's.
Yeah, cool.
He come out to say that he doesn't think the royal family's racist, but he's never met any of them. He wasn't invited to the wedding. he don't even talk to Meg. He never spoke to any of the royals. What justification has he got for his thoughts on them? I don't know. It was a lot of stuff going on.
I think Megan's dad is just being extra salty and trying to get as much airtime as he can.
It's because of money.
Yeah, and it just seems very selfishly driven.
Meg said, that. Sorry to cut you, Benny. Meg said that her sister, she hadn't seen her for 20 years, and before that, 10 years. So they haven't really been around each other for the best part of 30. She's something like in her 40s or 50s, something like that. And she only changed her name back to Markle because she got married or something like that. So she changed her name back to Markle when it came out that Harry and Meghan were dating. So basically, she was just so everything she's done since then has been to cash in on the fact that she's Meg's sister. So to me, you can't take what these people are saying seriously because they're just trying to make money off the situation. It's sad. It's sad that your own family would do this to your own blood. But
Look,
that's how people are.
When money's involved, the demons come out of everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Look, this was my take on the whole situation. I think, from when it started to ramp up on Sunday, I felt very triggered. I felt as though the underbelly of the UK society was strengthened and felt like they could rise up and start spouting their racial undertones into the public forum, and it just felt very uncomfortable looking on social media and the sort of stuff people were saying on there. Okay, Meghan's interview comes out now. Now we see a woman who, rightly or wrongly, has left the royal family for her own peace of mind. It triggered me again because it reminded me of Diana. I've never ever seen my mum upset or cry the way she did when Diana died. I don't know why. Like, I just know that Diana meant a lot to many people because it felt as though she was the bridge between the poor and the royal family. Am I right in saying that? Do you guys follow me here?
Yeah, it was the same effect with my family as well when she died.
Exactly. So, in seeing Meg, I'm not saying that Meg has had that same impact as Diana, but again, she was an outsider that joined the royal family and was starting to gain popularity in our communities. They championed her as the diversity champion, the new person that was coming in to rebrand the royal family. They gave her a platform.
Can I say
only to
something?
tear her down.
I don't think that is what they wanted to happen.
Mate,
because that's the issue.
Whether they wanted it to happen or not, it is what happened.
I'm saying that is the issue though, because Harry and Meg became more popular than Will and Kate, and that in itself is an issue because they became more popular than the couple that will actually become king and queen.
Can I drop some breaking news?
Go on.
Is that acceptable? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the moment that we're recording, Piers Morgan has resigned from Good Morning Britain.
That's good news.
Look, let me just finish my point, right? So they built her up only to tear her down. And then imagine it's just showed me how integrated the whole media is with the royal family and how in bed they are with white supremacy. Have you guys ever read the Daily Mail's comment section?
I don't give that website any clicks. Full stop. I beef my friends over this shit.
Good. Look, at the end of the day, if you want to make yourself feel sick, look on a Meghan article and then look on the comment section, and that's where you'll see the true underbelly show itself. Another point that I wanted to make, people like Piers Morgan as well, people like ITV, we know your game. You allow your presenters to hype up these ITV just feels so hypocritical to me. They feel hypocritical in the sense that they build up stories via like the regular scheduled programming. So on their Good Morning Britain, every single day they are banging on about Meghan, and how they bought the rights for the Oprah interview right away, even though it contradicted everything they were saying on their shows. It makes
Mm.
me feel like it. It's just it all just feels very orchestrated, very orchestrated and very uncomfortable. And the mess, I just feel bad for any little girl out there who saw Megan as someone that they could potentially be when they grew up, someone that could break through social mobility barriers and go to the top, right?
Mm.
And only for her to be dragged through the mud. Like, what kind of message does that send to any sort of dark skinned girl, mixed race girl that looks up to Megan? Like, it just shows you can't be there. Do you know what I mean? That's what it
Yeah,
feels like.
I totally get what you're saying there, Manny. I do. I do. There's a lot of ramifications, if you like, for what's been happening with the royal family and with Meg and how it impacts people that are viewing it from the outside. There is a lot. But what I would also say is this, Manny. I feel like they set Meg up for failure from the outset. Even when, last week they were talking about like the royal family started leaking um, messages, stories to the press before the interview came out to try to degrade Meg's reputation even further, right? One of the things
Yeah.
that they released was a story about Meg being bitchy to her staff in the royal palaces.
Yes. Yeah.
And the other one was about the earrings that she was wearing that was a gift from the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And it's like what they failed to mention there was how many racehorses the Queen owns that were gifted to her from the Crown Prince or King of Saudi Arabia or all these other countries with terrible human rights records.
Yep.
What they failed to mention was like how I remember there was an issue with Meg about how one time she got out of a car and she shut the door herself, and that was an issue because it doesn't follow royal protocol of having someone else shut the door for you.
Oh, they criticised her for everything, even the amount of steps she walked in front, behind, or next to Harry. You know,
Yeah.
the girl could not do anything
in the
right.
interview, it came out that she had absolutely no training. She was never given
Yeah.
any support.
Yeah.
And so even when they were talking, and this is I found funny as well. I watched it with my family, and so we found quite funny was that she was saying when she was with Harry, they were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and when she was going to meet the Queen for the first time, so maybe she might be fiancée by this point, but they weren't married. They were going to meet the Queen for the first time, and she said that, oh, what am I going to have? No, Harry said to her, so do you just a curtsy? And she thought it was like a joke to begin with, but then she was like, okay, I can learn to do it. But then what she didn't realize is that these protocols they're carried out all the time. So I thought to myself that when they're in the palace by themselves and just chilling, but they're just walking around their onesies, they might go and knock on grandma's door. You know what I mean? Like, what's up, man? But no, all the time you're following the royal protocol, having to curtsy for the Queen stuff. I didn't know this. And
why do you think the royal family exists? Why? What do you think they're there for?
Well, people say that they're there
We have
because
a
they're good for the
political
economy.
system. We have a democracy, right? Why are they there?
People say they're good for the economy. I don't consign that thought process because I think this country would have great trouble in tourism regardless. If the palaces were empty, then people would just go to pay to visit to actually go and take a full tour of Buckingham Palace. They probably make more money.
I think it's because constitutionally they're they're written into our laws. They're heads.
But they are, but it's complete bollocks in it. Because, like, for example,
Yeah, you can change that.
when you had the last election, right? Was it the last one? No, not the last one. The one before that, where the Tories barely got a majority, and everyone was saying this is bullshit. Basically, they shouldn't even be allowed. The Queen should stop it. But the Queen's completely powerless. So the Queen has to just go and say, okay, well, they've got this number, so now you're the Prime Minister of England. Or it's like, what is the
But
point?
this is the point, right? So the army report to the Queen. Does that make sense? And
But
like the prime minister, yeah, it all goes back to, I think, is it Oliver Cromwell or something like that, when Britain had an opportunity to become a republic, and that's when things were, that sort of thought process was quashed. Like they made sure that that sort of thinking wouldn't happen in UK, and instead they built a new relationship with like the prime minister, with like a new with a government, if that makes sense. But the queen is still on top, if that makes sense.
no, I totally get that. I get the way the laws are written. I get the constitution, right? But you know what, right? I know what else happened. We've had Brexit, and they've written all these new laws and rules in place in the space of what, a year. They could do the same to get rid of the Queen. It's not going to be difficult.
Oh, it's very, it could be very easily done if they wanted to remove the institute. I mean, when I say easy, I mean it's possible. It's not impossible.
Hmm.
It's not impossible. Other countries have done it.
It can definitely be done.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I just don't think the UK is ready for it to be done. That's the problem. I think you're right. Like it can be done, but is the UK ready for it? No. Like there's people out there of the older generation that see the Queen as the head of state and see her as someone that
She
they
is a
still look
puppet.
up to.
Even again, that's another thing from the interview, right?
Do you know what I'm really, can I just start and say, you know, when you talk about like there's people who, whether they're ready for it mentally, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm so tired of being held to like this emotional blackmail by fucking conservative people. Like, I'm so sick of it. I'm just tired. Why? Why do we even have to give a fuck? Like, facts don't care about your feelings. We don't need this family. They are a tax drain. That is it. And one of them is a nonce. We
Yeah,
are
that's
we
the,
are
I don't,
tax
yeah.
paying money protecting a nonce.
I'd rather that money went to Harry, to be honest with you.
Look,
Like,
Do you get me?
I'll be fine if the money going to protect
It's
him rather
the
than.
it's insult. It's like rubbing salt in the wound. I'm sorry, I can't, like, just because some little old lady somewhere who likes doilies likes a queen. I'm sorry, she is the mother of a nonce who's protecting this guy. I don't fucking give a fuck.
I say it's another thing as well right here is that the Queen is going from what was said in the interview yesterday. The Queen is more or less a puppet as well, because it's the people that essentially run the royal family that are not royals that have all the control. The Queen literally just says stuff once a year during the Queen's speech and knights people every now and then. She doesn't even deal with the knighthoods because sometimes Charles does it as well. So yeah, I just don't see the point. Well, yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
sorry, that's
yeah.
my opinion on that bit.
Rule Britannia, mate. Let's go.
Oh my god, don't. Not today.
look, I think
Mad.
we haven't seen the end of this story, and I think it's still evolving, and I still believe whether or not they wanted Meghan to be the rebrand of the royal family and it flopped, her and Harry are still gonna rebrand what it means to be a part of the royal family in a new way and in their own way. Um, whether they reconcile or not, they're still gonna do their thing in America. They've got $100 million deal, and shout out to Tyler Perry and to Oprah. Tyler
Yeah.
Perry, a black man that gave them security. Oprah Winfrey, the black woman that gave them a platform to share their voice when they were silenced. Big up themselves.
Well, I'm not a big Oprah fan, so I wouldn't go that far. However, definitely Tyler Perry came through for them. Really did.
You know what, right? Tyler Perry is such a weird guy because when he first came out, I thought he was just like a comedian, right? Doing the Medea stuff. And then you saw about how he was doing all the films, and I feel like the films he was making quite often, they portrayed black people in a negative light, especially black women. And then I don't even know how he's done it, but he just stepped up his game so much. I still think the quality of his works aren't great, but the fact that he's got like the biggest movie studio in the world,
You know what he
or in America,
did?
is crazy.
He kept black cinema alive at a time when it was really going through a downward spiral. That's what it was, in my opinion.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
If
there was a period where black cinema.
But I would definitely say that all the stuff he was doing, none of it was progressive.
Oh no, fully. I get that. That's not my point. He made
even
something.
Today, it's hardly any of it is progressive now. Like, okay, he has shows and films of black characters are in powerful positions, but the story is always very stereotypical. It's in a time when that's unnecessary, he still does it. But anyway,
I fully get you. Yeah,
he does deserve props for the other stuff he's done. Like I said, that the movie
the irony is
crazy, and the fact that he's doing so well in life in general, he deserves a lot of credit for that. So well done to him. But let's talk about some music, shall we? Or we still on this topic?
To be continued.
To be continued for sure.
Cool.
So who wants to dive in? Should we get the I want to start with, what was this guy's name? It was over 20 tracks on this project.
Lil Durk's one. Lil Durk and Only the Family.
Yeah, that one. Can we get started there, please?
I know. The fact you don't remember the name, I think I know what's coming up here, but go on.
Yeah.
Set pace.
No, actually, could you guys go first? I just wanted to instigate that conversation so we can get that one out the way.
Manny?
You're good. Go on.
Why do I have to go first? Ollie, you go first.
Alright, say no more. I didn't listen to it. Matt, you're up.
Wow.
I told you, I ain't had the time and I was not invested in listening to 28 tracks from the family.
Okay, basically, since everyone's like mic shy right now, Lil Durk, OTF, Only the Family, he released a joint mixtape project thing to basically shine a light on his little bros, to give them some exposure and to give them an opportunity to showcase their skills in order to improve their fan base.
Is that what this was?
Yeah. What did you think it was?
I didn't know that was the backstory behind this project. I just listened to it.
What it is. Most of the artists on here are signed either Lil Durk or artists signed to Lil Durk. And I think there's like maybe one or two artists that are on there that are not part of the gang group, the label. So, for example, Lil Uzi Vert's on one of the tracks. He's obviously not signed to Lil Durk.
All right.
Honestly, I say this all the time because Lil Durk. I like Lil Durk as a person, but the music he makes just generally doesn't do it for me. That is pretty much the same case again here. Most of the tracks are just really not my flavor, but there were a couple of tracks I did like. One of them was "Dying to Hit 'Em," which was track 14. I really like that one. "Streets Raised Me" was dope as well, and there was another track that I quite liked. What was it? I think it might be Hellcats and Trackhawks, but yeah. So 3 tracks out of 23. That is not a great look, really. An hour-long project, and it is very skippable. Very skippable. I think again, the way this music's being consumed right now, it probably isn't how it was meant to be. I was literally sitting down in my chair at home, playing Football Manager, and listening to this music, and it just didn't bang. But maybe if I was in a different setting, different environment, around different people, maybe it kind of get me going a bit more.
I think you're being generous.
No, I'm not, because the thing is, I can appreciate that not every song you listen to has to have some sort of great degree of storytelling or crazy.
Why do I feel personally attacked?
Sometimes I like this to trap music because the bass line's crazy. I do like that sort of shit sometimes, not always, but quite often actually. I do like that sort of shit.
And do you feel this project served that for you?
I don't think there's any setting where I'm gonna want to listen to all 23 of these tracks. But like I said, there's 3 tracks on there I could easily add to my playlist. And I kind of think to myself, when artists do these 23 track projects now, they know full well that it's not 23 good tracks. They're just putting them in there because, like, haha, bitch, you streamed it. I'm getting paid now. Too bad.
Do you know what? Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah, because like
after listening to this, definitely
Chris Brown's the worst one for doing it, because Chris Brown is capable of making a very, very good album if you wanted to, but he's like, nah, you can have 12 tracks of really good tracks, or I'm going to give you 45 tracks instead, and you're going to stream all of it, and people do, and he gets paid. So fuck it.
True. Look, I'm gonna say this here, like, I listened to this and I enjoyed somewhat the first half of it. Like, if I'm being honest, King Von was actually a decent rapper, and his presence was felt like during this album, and it was quite sad, and like when his like vocals cut off midway through the album. I'm guessing because at that point that's when he died, and Game Face came on, and like Game Face is still like hard. It's still trappy. It's still up tempo beats, but you can actually, like, in their own way, you can see that they're processing his death. There were things I really didn't like about this album, like the Tuka references. They're still going on about it. Anyway, my boy 6ix9ine is dealing with them in that respect. What else? The last half of the album felt really hard to listen to. Though I didn't really find any favorites on the last half, but um, I'd say Game Face probably one of my favorites. Turkey Season was all right, and I would say Chess was pretty decent too. Cool.
So come on then. We're waiting for this one now. What do you think, Afia?
Okay, so I listened to halfway, and
Just skip to the bit you're gonna say. Go on, say it. Go on.
no,
Go on.
let me go on my journey. So, like,
meandering around these points, but you got to just get to the same outcome regardless.
I'm still petitioning for a trash can, so I don't know. Like, I just want the bin. I just want a bin. And I feel like sometimes you pick these projects sometimes, because I don't know who picks it week from week, but whoever it is, yeah, I feel like you're doing it on purpose, on a wind up. Who picked this?
Well, like, this is Lil Durk. Why would you not cover a project that Lil Durk is involved in heavily? I don't understand. Lil Durk is.
I feel like somehow you should know it's gonna be this trash. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so appalling.
Should we start adding some, like, maybe some opera music and classical into the mix so that we can get a different vibe?
Yeah, I don't mind. One of my favorites is 4Release. It bangs. Come on, man.
When did that come out? 17 what?
I don't know, but it's still better than this.
Don't diss man like Beethoven.
No, I mean, I'll tell you what, Afia. If you could just like slide in Tchaikovsky's DMs and let for us to review his music. Fucking hell.
Anyway, let's move on, man. I'm glad this one's out the way. Yeah. I don't have anything to say about it.
Standout songs, please, guys, and all.
Yeah,
not you, Afia. What was your
from me?
And what was your rating, Annie?
Who, me?
I'm gonna give it a 2.
Yeah, I said 2 from me as well. I'm not even gonna ask Afia because we're just gonna
listen. Just give me a trash
thoughts on this one.
That's it.
So anyway, the next project that we had to listen to this week was, should we say the best to last year? So let's say YG 4Hunnid presents gang affiliated. That's another project of a very similar ilk to what Lil Durk was doing. So this time it's YG's record label, 4Hunnid, and his artists are on the project. And do I remember what his artists are called? No, I don't. There's four of them though, so yeah, that's it. Go on.
Can I get going with this one? Because I want to ask you guys a question about it. All right. Mm-hmm. So I thought when I first started listening to this, I immediately actually flashed back to the Lil Durk thing. You're right. It's the same sort of flavor, but it is better. Thank goodness it is better. This is another bringing some younger artists forward type of project, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt like it was kind of hit and miss, but overall, I thought there were songs on there there's something on there for everybody, and there was actually a bop on there by a girl called, what's this girl's name now?
Pardon? Is it Day Salon you're talking about?
Yes, her. And I thought that was a bop, but I really enjoyed it. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about?
That track is great. It's on track 3. I liked it.
Yes. That's the standout, I think, on this. It's a bop. It's a summer bop, for real.
It's quite interesting, right? Because I've been following that girl on Instagram for quite a while, right? And she's always been around these West Coast rappers, but I didn't ever think she was actually a rapper. I thought she was just like an IG baddie sort of thing, right?
So when she was she was, yeah.
Yeah, she probably was. But then when she started like releasing music, I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And then her song came out, I was like, it's actually good. You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple of these girls that are doing this stuff and they release good music, but I guess part of it is because of the fact that they work with some really good producers that can help them.
Yeah, I don't think that is down to her. I'm going to be honest with you. I think she's a face and an image. I don't think that is something she wrote or heavily contributed to, in my personal opinion. I just don't see it.
I have to say that without having any insight. Like,
I was doing some reading.
Clips. Oh, you were? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I was doing some reading.
I've seen some clips of her.
The reason I say that... Sorry, go on.
I saw some clips of her like she's actually trying to develop the music herself. But
yeah, so does Bad Baby.
Bad Baby? Who's that? Oh, okay, yeah.
Catch Me Outside Girl.
Yeah, but
that's the industry now.
All I can say is that I'm not gonna write it off straight away. But you probably are.
Well, no, I enjoyed the track, and even if it's a manufactured, put together thing, I think they did it very well. It's a banger. I'm definitely gonna listen to it again.
I just think the main difference is between this YG project and the Lil Durk one is that this one is 7 tracks long, 20 minutes, and the Lil Durk one is 23 tracks in an hour. So by literally just making it a third of the length, it's just. You just basically concentrate on the quality, and then now listen to this piece. Okay, I'll listen to these artists again. Whereas with the Lil Durk one, if you felt that the quality didn't maintain throughout, which is a fact, it might turn you off actually bothering to listen to it again in the future. So yeah.
Yeah, but what I wanted to ask you guys is, what is your opinion on her using? I mean, there was a lot of references to Hispanic culture, Latin culture, and from. I'm sure where they are, it's a big part of what they've grown up around. Yeah, how do you feel about the heavy usage of this in her track?
YG does it all the time. And to be honest with you, I personally think it's not right. But I have to say it might be a case of if that is what they grew up with, then and that's what they be doing, then I can't really say they shouldn't be doing it.
I feel go on.
It's no different to like a white rapper doing all the things that black rappers do. Like if that's the culture they've grown up in, then what's the problem with it? If YG and all this girl were always hanging around like Mexican dudes all the time, then what's the problem?
Do you know what? I was thinking about it, and at first it didn't sit well with me. But then at the same time, I thought to myself, in those parts of America, there has been such a mix of Black and Hispanic Latin culture that, and I feel like they borrow from each other in a way. And the development of hip hop and stuff in that area has been sort of a blend of that I actually think it's acceptable. But I actually did go out of my way to check her ethnicity, because it did sort of, I was questioning it a lot, and I'm still thinking about
racially
it.
ambiguous as well.
Pardon?
She's a bit racially ambiguous as well, isn't she?
She's half Vietnamese and half African American.
There you go.
Yeah. She grew up with an Asian mother.
Yeah, and she's extra piff, so. Manny, Ollie, did you listen?
I did listen, actually.
And
It was alright. I kind of zoned out halfway through.
sounds like you zoned out of this podcast as well, mate.
Nah, just like these two projects I just didn't like at all. I don't really have anything constructive to say. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer either. It was just noise. The beats were okay. There was like, I think I like the last track, My Brothers or whatever it was called. That was the only track.
That was a good track.
Yeah.
That was the only track. Yeah, My Brothers. That was the only track that actually captivated me. So, yeah. Other than that, wish I got my time back.
Wow. Okay, Manny.
I'm gonna disagree with Afi here. I actually appreciated the Lil Durk project more than this. I don't know if it's because it's a West Coast thing, but I don't know. Just missed a lot for me for some reason. I guess it's still early days on this new artist. I'd like to see more of get a bit more familiar with their sound, but yeah, it wasn't great for me, this project. I would say Might Be was probably the best song. Who's next?
Let's give our ratings, I guess. I'm gonna give this 3 years.
I'm gonna give this a 2.
I'm going to give it a 2.
Yeah, it's a 2 for me as well.
All right. Cool.
I mean, I agree with you guys. Well, I agree with you, Manny. No, wait. I thought it was better than the Lil Durk thing. God, I hate their names. But it still wasn't that great.
Wasn't great. 3 is not a great score, is it?
2.
2.
Three
As if I would give it a 3.
3 means like
average.
Yeah, so 2 means like it's
Poor.
poor. I wouldn't say this is a poor project.
I wouldn't. I think it's like a low average.
Yeah, no, this is poor for me.
Yeah, poor for me as well. I just expected better.
All right. Cool. So 3, 2, 2, 2. Cool. Next project.
No Face.
Ooh, go for it, Manny.
The way you say it, like go for it, like I'm about to big it up. This was trash, man. No disrespect to all of these legends, but I didn't get it. Maybe it wasn't for me. I didn't get it. Was this like a North and London collaboration or something? Like it just. I think I need to live with it more. But on these initial listens, it didn't hit me. And you know how much I've been bigging up Frisco like of late, and how I've been like giving him like goat mentions. But yeah, it just didn't resonate with me. Like I think if you look at the actual track titles, I think they were trying to theme it around like North Face jackets, like Shorty's pattern, Capo's pattern, Frisco's pattern, and then the other tracks are Freezing, More. I ain't gonna lie, like I think they're trying to do something, but it just didn't come off. Did you guys get that, or am I on an island here?
I really didn't. I really didn't get that at all. But now that you say that, I can kind of see it. But Yeah, I didn't get that at first.
Wait, did you like it though?
I thought it was alright. I thought it was good, but it could have been because I came just off of YG's and his gang affiliated people, so I feel like that might have boosted the sound, so to speak. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was that bad. I felt like Frisco and Shorty had good lyrics. I felt like JME surprised me with some of his bars as well, even though JME's like a B-Tech rapper or artist.
What?
I just feel like the way he delivers his bars, it's just B-Tech in it.
No, mate. Jamie's a pioneer. Never ever disrespect him.
Nah, no disrespect. I don't know how to explain it.
No disrespect, but you're a B-Tech rapper. But no disrespect though.
Nah, okay, maybe B-Tech's a bit harsh, but you know what I mean. Like his rhyming style's a bit simplistic.
Ollie, you're not serious.
Man don't care, bruv. That's still a big track. I like his music. I like Jamie, but I'm just saying, like the way the way he delivers his lyrics. Sorry, it's just basic when you compare it to people like Frisco. But it's his style, and I can appreciate his style. Just like he double has his style, which some may like or dislike. I like Jamie a lot, and I like his music. That's probably why I like this as well. But
For context, to our listeners that have no idea who these legends are, Jamie is a pioneer, same bracket as Frisco, but I'm not too sure. Shorty as well. I think Shorty's a legend as well. I'm not too sure actually about Shorty.
I think he's legend adjacent.
Legend adjacent. And who is? I like that. So, like, who's Capolino?
I don't know, but I enjoyed that person as well. Like I enjoyed the project. Yeah, it's like I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I felt like it all complemented each other well. The beats were good. There was one beat that was just like it just felt like it was like hardcore old school grime. I think it was like the second track or something. But I liked it. I haven't got anything negative to say.
Calm, Matt.
Honestly, I respect the legends that are included as part of this project, but I thought the project was poor. I don't really see anything in the project that made me like it or would even play it again. To be honest with you, I'll probably not gonna play any single track of that project again, or add it to a playlist or anything. It's just
Do you know what's more disappointing about this? I saw an interview where someone was hyping this album up, and I didn't even know it was released until you told me, or you sent the albums of the week, right? Like someone was hyping this up, and I forget what interview it was, and it made it exciting. It made it worthwhile, like to wait for. And I don't know whether upon seeing who was on it and associating it with that interview, like listening to this album, it just led to disappointment for me. So because
it's when you look at it though, Manny, right? It doesn't meet even. I'm not saying it just doesn't make up the sum of its parts. Okay, it's poorer than the sum of its parts. If you just put this up, if you have JME, Shorty, and what's his name? Forgotten his name.
Frisco.
Yeah, just them three, right? If you had a project of just them three on there, you're expecting fireworks essentially. Because we loved Frisco's album a couple of months ago. Jamie is someone that although his rhymes are more simplistic, I find them entertaining. I enjoy them, right? Shorty, whenever I've heard him on a track, he's always delivered, but I've never heard the whole project from him before, admittedly.
I have to backtrack. Jamie's not simple.
And this is just poor. That's not simple.
Jamie's simplistic, but he paints bigger pictures. Bruv, he's simplistic. He's like, man, just do this and the man do that. Man's got an X6 with a platinum.
He rhymes letters as well, so I'm not. So you can't ever say this guy does complicated rhymes or anything like that. He just does it very well. He's got a good flow.
Yeah,
but his rhymes are not complex. He's not doing nothing like what Dave does or what.
There's no schemes. There's no double entendres. Nothing.
Yeah. But then
he does do vivid pictures.
But then even then, if you got a track of Kano, or was it what's it, Flow of the Year, and Kano doesn't destroy him on the track. Even so, Kano's raps are so much better in general. Jamie can still hang in there as a top rapper, but his raps are just not to the same level of complexity. But
Yep.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm waiting for Jamie to drop a Gets Level project. Like,
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
I reckon
It's never gonna happen, mate.
why can't it
He's
happen?
not capable of making some of the songs that gets made on that project. Gets transcended on that project. He went up. He didn't even got many levels as a rapper per se because he's done tracks like that before. But as a producer, that album altogether, Gets went up about 5 different levels there. He was, well, not 5, but 3. He went up a lot. He just improved a lot. Jamie isn't even in the same planet as him right now. Not even in the same solar system.
I'm gonna say that I feel as though Jamie's got one in him. His last album came out 2015. It's about time.
No, it didn't. He
He had an album like last year or something.
He released a project last year.
It was really good, apparently. Everyone was saying it was really
It was okay. It was alright. It was decent. It was better than this for sure.
Okay,
But-
Grime MC.
But yeah, man, honestly, it's just don't hold your breath waiting for Jamie to do better than Gets or to be on the same level as Gets because I don't want you to die. I appreciate you as a friend. So don't hold your breath.
No disrespect, though. No disrespect.
It's not even just that one. Jamie's a very good rapper, just that he's just not on Gets' level. He would say that himself. How many rappers in the UK are on Gets' level? Kano and Wretch, that's it. Okay, and Dave. Even Stormzy's not on Gets' level bar for bar.
See, Stormzy's on like Jamie's level when it comes to bars. I feel
No,
like.
he's not. Now you're taking the piss now. Stormzy is one tier below that. Stormzy though can make a great album. That's the difference.
Stormzy makes amazing music, but when it actually comes to bars,
he can rhyme. That's not the way. He doesn't. Look here, Jamie has so many songs. He's rapping ABC 1, 2, 3. Stormzy does not do that. Please.
Where
stop
does
this.
J Hus fit into it?
J Hus isn't even that good either. Like he's like a B level rapper as well.
I don't want to make friends. I don't want to break the ice.
Actually, you know what?
I think about my life
crazy.
and I analyze the gunman aiming at me. And he worked precise. I looked down the barrel of the gun and saw paradise. They don't want to see us win.
Shut up, Ollie. That was a great song, right? How many songs did he make like that? So, as much as I admit, that was great. That was amazing. But he doesn't make that sort of song very often.
Look, he made it.
Dave makes that song in his sleep, to be honest with you.
And Dave, hey, Leslie, let's just talk about Leslie or Black. Like
Rich 3-2 does that in his sleep. Kano got about 5 of those. Like, come on.
Hey, Who Needs All Summer? Oh, that's an album. That album is entirely Flames. SYM.
So that's what I'm saying. So me saying that J Hus isn't on Kano's level, that's not a disrespect, you know? Because I see Kano Wretch and Gets here after this album now. I see them on the same tier as some of the best rappers from America as well. So like this is not a disrespect to me saying that J Hus is on that level. That's not a disrespect at all. That's like me saying, I don't know, Lil Baby is on the same level. Lil Baby ain't on the same level as Jay-Z because he's not.
I feel like there's a rapper missing from that list. I just can't.
Do you know what it is? So you have Gets, Kano, Wretch, and Dave at the very top, and then below that you'll have
Stormzy, J Hus.
There's Stormzy, J Hus. You'll have Dizzy Rascal. I know Matt ain't gonna like that. You got Skepta.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
And then below that, you're gonna have people like
Wait, so Skepta's not even B? Do you say Skepta's not B tier?
No, so S is Skepta, Kano, Wretch, Dave, Gets, and then A tier is like them and there, and then B tier people like K-Trap and stuff like that, and then Jamie, sadly, I feel like Giggs is A tier as well, and then Jamie falls into like C tier.
I think you're gonna have to give Stormzy A tier. No, you have to give him A tier. Like, I don't know because I don't think Stormzy's level with Chip, and Chip is A tier. Nah,
I
Stormzy got
don't think Chip is like top. So I feel like that's a fair list. That Stormzy can be in B, but he can be like B plus or something like that.
Stormzy, I don't know, man. But
Any signs and prayers, man. That was a moment
Listen,
album.
recite a Stormzy bar, that is crazy. Oh wait,
oh my god, he's got plenty of them.
no,
Can I,
but
can
just
I
recite
recall it
one.
right now? I don't gonna recall his bars right now, but he's got them.
That are crazy.
Especially on his smoother tracks. He's got a lot of them on the smoother tracks.
Yeah, but that's like
Like
B level
Velvet.
stuff. It's like B tier. It's not the same tier as like when Chip does a crazy bar or a crazy track, and it's not on the same
Okay,
tier as
okay. So we're fully going off tangent here, but we're going to continue this, so right. The key bit here though is that sometimes you have people that do crazy bars, and then they can't make an album.
yeah. So we have to break it
And
down. Like you talk about
that's where Guess
lyricism.
used to be. That's where Guess used to be, right? He used to
Yeah,
make crazy bars, but his albums wouldn't quite connect the dots, right? Stormzy has released 2 albums, and both albums have connected. They've collected the Infinity Stones in each album, so they
yeah,
bang, right?
yeah.
Now we're talking about Chip. Now Chip, I think Chip's been done it on 1 or 2 albums, and considering he's had 10, I don't know if that's a good record.
It's
To be
not,
honest,
but I feel like he was a product of an industry that tried to mold people too much, so
I
it
agree
really
with that.
affected his work.
His
So when he actually ended up
earlier
going,
work, I agree with that.
it's like
Definitely.
his first four or five projects, and then when he finally came back again after the Bugsy beef, and he was like, "I'm going to be independent." That's when his quality ramped up massively. Last project aside, like his quality did go up like quite a lot. And if we're gonna take it as a whole thing, like music and lyrics, then yeah, Stormzy is probably A or even S tier, because when it comes to making music, I
I
don't
think
think
that you got to.
anyone has the polish that Stormzy has right now.
I think that you have to. Kano. I think you have to and get. You have to consider all 3 of them, all 2 of the things by lyrics and album quality. I don't think you can just look at it in
Yeah,
isolation,
Yeah,
unless you're
exactly.
specifically saying you're looking in isolation. If you're looking at it as the quality of an artist, it can't just be how good they are as lyricists. You got to look at the quality of the music that they produce as a
And then
whole.
if we're
I
looking at
think
the
that's fair,
quality of music they produce, then Jay House has to be up there as well.
100%.
Yeah, he is up there, but not the top tier though. Because even if you look at his last album, right, and trust me, I did like it. But if you listen to it, and if you listen to it like proper analyzing it, the songs are very similar, all of them, except for Deeper Than Rap, I think. And the one then that's like more of a grime track. But the rest of the tracks, they're all on the same. And his rhyme scheme is pretty much the same in all the tracks as well.
I
And
can appreciate a simple rhyming scheme if you make good music.
I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, but I'm saying that you're not going to put the album on the same tier as someone like Guess's one or Stormzy's 2.
I think that's fair. I think that is fair.
Okay. So, with that all being said, did we get the scores in for?
We haven't had Afi's review yet.
Oh yeah, Afia, what's your review? No, Afia did say what she wants. So, I think.
I don't think she
Guys,
did.
we lost Afia.
Nah, she's here.
So, bloody hell, you guys were talking for time. Anyway, what was I gonna say? What are we talking about again? Yeah, it was all right. I really enjoyed it. I don't know what you lot are talking about.
There you go.
I really don't know. I really, really liked it. It made me feel like I was 16 listening to these guys when they were like younger as well. Like some of them anyway. I don't know how old all of them are. But yeah, the vibe was cool. I enjoyed it. It felt a little bit rough around the edges, which I didn't mind. I would listen to it again. I'd give it a 3.
I agree. It's a 3 for me as well.
I felt very
yeah.
nostalgic listening to this. I don't know.
Hold on. So, which one are we talking about here? North Face.
Yeah.
Like Track of Wales. Yeah, that is like a 1 for me, mate.
Wow!
It was trash.
I can't believe that. That's mad. Did you not just give the other what was it? Which one were we just discussing? You gave them 3.
4Hunnid. I gave it a 3.
Which one? Not the Lil Durk one. What was it called?
Gang affiliated.
Yeah,
YG.
Gang Affiliated. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe you gave that a 3. And
No, that was a 2. Gang Affiliated is a 3, and I believe that this one here, North Face, was a 1.
So you're putting this the same level as that guy we don't mention, the whole lot of Saturn guy, the whole lot of Red guy.
Honestly, the same way I've never listened to that since. Oh, listened to this one since. That's generally
I'm
how I
gonna
feel.
listen to this again. It was
Oh,
cool. I'll tell you the track I liked from it
I'm
actually.
happy for you that you go listen to it again, but I won't be listening to it again, so it's all good.
Let me see. Which one did I like? Oh, AGL.
Ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I thought that was a fire track. I really enjoyed it.
My favorite was Frisco's Pattern.
Okay.
I'm not gonna respect it and give it like a 1, but it's a 2 from me.
Jeez.
So I think, what do we average this one out as a 2 then?
Yeah.
Because the
This is
3s
probably
can't
the
carry it.
podcast where I've given the lowest scores. Can you imagine?
Mad one. All right.
I'm so surprised that you guys have enjoyed that so much, and I think that even what Ollie said that he thinks he enjoyed this project because of the fact that he listened to it directly after a project that he didn't like. That I think that he should probably listen to it again tomorrow and see if he still thinks the same, because there's no way that he genuinely thinks it's a 3 unless maybe he slapped
Do you think
himself
it's
in the
that
head.
bad?
No, I don't think it's that bad, but it's possible that at some point today, before listening to the project, Ollie slapped himself in the head with a metal pole. But it's not that bad.
To be fair, I was listening to it on my way to get lunch. I was hungry.
See, there you go. So he's thinking to himself, "Oh, chicken wings."
Do you know what's so funny about this? The one song
and then he's happy, and he's basically conflating his happiness with the songs being good on this album. That's what's happened here. Anyway, let's move forward, please.
All right. Yeah. Who should we talk about next, guys? Should we go into Drake's EP?
Shall we? Wait. Is there any news that we can share first?
Today marks 24 years since Biggie was assassinated.
Sad times, happy times. Has anyone watched I've Got a Story to Tell on Netflix?
Not yet, man.
Yeah, so that's about Biggie's life, but it's from a different perspective, because one of his homeboys was actually used to take like a lot of video recordings of them when they were on the go. So he was actually essentially vlogging before it became mainstream.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, so it's actually quite cool to see new footage of Biggie and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a case of.
Do you know what? Yeah. After saying that is kind of. I feel that's kind of like weird. So like they sit on this footage with the intention of selling it later. That's what it feels like to me.
I can't say that's the case here. Maybe I don't know. I don't think that's the case here, because I'm sure you'd have had many other opportunities to sell it. Like there's been lots of other documentaries done about Biggie around his death and stuff like that. So if that was the case, surely you would have done it 10, 15 years ago.
Or think of it as an investment. The longer you leave it, the more people will pay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how much he was paid for this or his financial situation in general, but I don't know.
Fair enough.
Because it's a long time to wait to get a payout.
That is true.
Guys, on a few, well, I guess a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about WandaVision.
That's trash, man.
Yeah, so let's clear it up. Did you guys watch the finale?
I haven't seen it. I'm a few episodes in.
No spoilers, but was you satisfied with the ending?
Anticlimactic, waste of time. What was the point in the plots and the character plots and the character development? It was stupid.
Do you know what it was? I'm not going to spoil it, but you have to remember, like, not everyone's going to have a subscription to Disney Plus. So
that's the whole point. They're going to get one for the show.
No,
that's
but
what Disney want.
It is what Disney want, but
directly a part of the MCU, isn't it? So
it is.
Like,
however, not everyone's going to have that. So they have to start and finish it in a way whereby people that haven't got Disney Plus can still like go to a cinema and catch up quickly. Like you can explain things a lot easier. But yeah, I can't spoil it, so Can't really say much. We'll revisit it when Afi has watched it.
Okay, so I'll say this to you as well, though, Manny, just to follow on what you said from what you said there. Part of the issue with what's happened with my thoughts probably on this show is that it was supposed to come out directly before Doctor Strange 2. And that's not going to happen anymore because of the fact that Doctor Strange 2 was pushed back. So I think maybe how we're watching it, we've maybe not been seeing it in the context that we're supposed to see it in. Maybe we're supposed to watch this after watching Black Widow or after watching even Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, there were other movies that were meant to come out first.
Yeah, that's how it was originally meant to be. It was meant to be Black Winter, Falcon, and Winter Soldier. I think What If story. Then it was gonna be WandaVision, Loki,
And then Doctor Strange.
and then Loki.
I think I'm gonna watch it again in its entirety. Now that I know what to expect, I'm gonna watch it from start to finish again and see if I view it differently.
I just think to myself, right, that all the rumors that were out, they proved to be false. That's the first bit. And the other part is that I just didn't see any progression. Okay, so like there is a bit of progression in there to what would happen in the next movies, to be fair. But I just think some of the stuff that happened doesn't make any sense at all because it just wouldn't have been allowed to happen. Again, without giving any spoilers, I just don't understand how major plot lines could have occurred in this show because for what we see in the movies, that just wouldn't have been allowed. But I think that's the problem with the MCU in general now. It's like, for example, in Spider-Man in Far From Home, people were like, well, how was this allowed to happen? Why didn't I don't know, Falcon come and support him, but why didn't Doctor Strange come and support him? And that's just going to be an issue that's going to happen going on in all MCU movies. Like, it's always going to be a question, why didn't this other hero turn up and help him? But, yeah.
Oh, for anyone who isn't aware, there is a show on Disney Plus now, because there's Star on there. Obviously, you guys probably know already. But it's from the creators of Rick and Morty. And it's very good. If you've finished all your episodes of Rick and Morty, you're looking for something to watch next, go head over to Star and look for this Rick and Morty inspired show. It's good.
What's it called?
I do not remember. I'm literally on Google right now trying to find it because I do not remember.
I'm not gonna watch it because that's the reason why Rick and Morty's taking so long to come back.
Oh, well, the other show from the Rick and Morty creators is called Solar Opposites.
Thank you. Solar Opposites.
In other breaking news, Triller have acquired have acquired the Versus thing from, I don't even know what you'd even call it, the Versus platform from Swiss Beats and Timbaland. Triller is how would I describe it? A TikTok-like version app which was started in the US, and they've been like diversified into like boxing and other things. But yeah, they've purchased Versus and they've brought in Swiss Beats and Timbaland to help oversee music and other company strategy. I feel like this is something that's more like common, is becoming more common, like with Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey, Joe Budden, and Patreon. Like it's becoming more common. Are you guys getting the same impression?
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be oversaturated, and some of these are gonna have to go.
Nah, so I think what will happen is that the big players will just steal whatever they need to steal, and then everything just gets consolidated.
Yeah, so eventually something's gonna have to go.
I think it's like Vine came in rent, didn't it? I'm surprised Snapchat's still here. I think that Clubhouse is finished already because Twitter have already copied the feature.
Clubhouse will be finished once Instagram copies it.
Well, Twitter's copied it, so I think Twitter's probably a better space for it as well, because I feel like Twitter, the whole point of Twitter is people chatting shit about shit.
Yeah, but sometimes...
and that's what Clubhouse is, so...
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but sometimes people want a separate space to go and do that in. Do you know what I mean? Like, not on Twitter.
I don't know if I agree with that because, for example, Instagram, you say people wanted a separate space maybe for videos, but now you got video uploads there, you got IGTV, you got your stories there. Like I think Instagram getting stories made me stop using Snapchat pretty
Well,
much.
I'll tell you what's really dead now. Telegraph.
Telegram. Oh, you actually mean Telegram? I'm confused.
Telegraph, the app. Telegraph.
Telegram.
Telegram.
Oh, is it Telegram?
Telegraph don't even make sense. Telegraph like a move.
Telegraph died about 200 years ago.
Okay.
Telegram is like, you got Telegram, you got Telegram.
When the telephone became available, you know?
Telegraph, whatever it is, man. It's
Whoever invented that for that shit. Anyway, no, Telegram's different because Telegram isn't a social media like that. It's a messaging app, so it's completely different, in my opinion. And plus, I use it all the time, and many people have, and the numbers are still really high. But
yeah, okay.
like saying BBM died though, like, that's really sad. BBM should never have died.
Yeah, I second that.
Man. Those people at BlackBerry, they really fumbled the ball, man.
Yeah, they could have been the first cross-platform application, but they were too late. They set everyone up to enjoy the benefits of instant communication, and then didn't follow through by opening up their platform, and then WhatsApp came, killed them.
That's right.
But yeah, like going back to this, there is a running trend now, and I personally feel as though like so Silicon Valley and like tech companies are now understanding that there is cultural capital, and hip hop is the gateway to access that. They've seen what's happened with Clubhouse, and I feel as though if they want to replicate that, they know that like hip hop makes things hot, and yeah, getting involved with, let's say, some of the giants is a way to gain access into that cultural capital as well.
Probably right there. But I would dispute it.
That's interesting. It's all good for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
as long as we get ownership. Yeah.
Can we take a moment to appreciate Cardi B as well? She won, not that she won, her... Matt, I think you wanted to discuss this, actually.
I did, but I actually want to go back to something else before I discuss it. You know, let's quickly discuss it, right? But I want to go back and touch on Jay-Z and his selling of different products and companies and stuff like that. But anyway, Cardi B's first female rapper of all time to have a diamond single. And I love that record, Bodak Yellow. It always goes off in the clubs. I saw her perform it live in Miami, Rolling Loud. And she's actually a better performer than I thought she would be. Gave a great performance that night, and yeah, it was just, she deserves the flowers that she's receiving right now. She's not someone that had a great talent for rapping like a Nicki Minaj or Lauryn Hill, but she's just a nice person. Everyone likes her, and she's got a team around her that helps to produce good music. So big up Cardi. Diamond B.
I think she is a good rapper, but I tell you why, because I think
if you don't write your own rhymes, I can't give you that.
Oh yeah, well, facts. Can I just ask, what was your favorite part of her performance?
Why you would ask me that question?
I'm just curious.
Okay, do you know what? Actually, I'll tell you honest truth, right? She actually had her dance routines like nailed on. So I could say to her, like, she was at one point she was literally just like doing like a stripper lap dance show. But she actually had her set routine down really well. So she wasn't just like kind of jumping and freestyling a little bit and then jumping back out again. She was actually killing it like on a, I don't want to say Beyonce level because she's not on that level, but it was that sort of.
She's a good dancer.
Yeah.
She enjoys it, you can tell.
Yeah. But anyway, just to like quickly like circle back around to like
Jay-Z.
Corporate news and Jay-Z, right? Sometimes people say that I hate Jay-Z, and I don't hate Jay-Z. I think he's a very great rapper. I never when he was having his peak, I didn't appreciate his music for what it was. Maybe I was too young to appreciate it at the time, and I also think that I just preferred the West Coast sound. That's what I've always said. The West Coast rap is what made me fall in love with hip hop. It wasn't the New York rap scene. So my history of Jay-Z, if you like, is an awkward one. But something that Jay-Z has done in recent years is that he makes business moves and says it's for us. And when I say us, I mean it's for black people. Or he makes business moves and he says it's for artists, right? Now, when he bought Tidal or whatever, when they came together and bought Tidal, they said it's all about artist ownership, and we're going to bring things forward together, and we're going to make sure that artists get paid properly and stuff like that, and we're going to make sure you have high fidelity music so the audio quality is better. And then I think this week he sold half of the company to essentially an investment firm. And I thought to myself, well, what happened to the whole thing about all the artists like doing the best thing for them? Is that the best thing for them? Who knows? Remains to be seen. But it just seems like it's another one of Jay-Z's. Do I say lies or mistruths? Where he's just basically chatting shit. No. The other one is with the champagne, Armand de Brignac, where he said, "Oh, it's black owned. It's important for black people. We've got to come together and do this sort of stuff." Then he just sold off half the company. No, he sold the whole company, didn't he? Or was it half? I'm not sure what he did.
I think he sold the whole lot. But what's funny about, I think he sold the whole lot. But what's funny about that is he entered the champagne business because of the issue with Cristal, isn't it?
Kind of, because the Cristal thing happened a long time ago, a long time before he bought.
But I think that was the catalyst for a lot of people in the industry paying more attention to that industry and actually investing in that industry.
I'll give you that, but this happened like in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
I didn't buy Ace of Spades till like 2015, something like that. So it's definitely very different. So it's definitely far removed from each other.
Well, one thing that no one's actually spoken about with regards to Jay-Z's LVMH deal, right, is Rihanna was the precursor for this deal. Like, Jay-Z and I guess Live Nation helped Rihanna, I assume, to negotiate that Fenty deal. And I'm guessing LVMH saw the value again in that cultural currency and then went in again with Jay-Z. So...
No, and I agree. That's what that is. You're right there, and that is what's happening. But this is my point. I feel like Jay-Z is using black people as currency for himself.
Well, it's
value to
it's not just
you know what it is?
All these rappers.
But it's
you know what it is? It's like
I don't think all these rappers make out that when they do something, it's for everyone to the same extent that Jay-Z does. It's like, for example, even another one, the NFL deal. He was like, "Oh, we need to move past kneeling now. We've got to go do something better, whatever." And for him doing better was him signing a deal with the NFL, so he gets paid whenever there's a performance done in the NFL halftime or something like that, whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, so where's the money going for all the other black people then? Like,
well, I've been saying this for time. I don't rate Jay-Z and his philanthropic work because for me, I view it in the same way as a corporation. You know, when corporations sponsor certain things to look good. Sorry?
There's a lot of backhand dealing with whatever.
Yeah, but you do something on the surface. So they'll like BP will sponsor certain things at museums. We bring, and it makes them look good. It's public relations. But in the actual board, are there cameras in these meetings that we get to see what's going on? No, but then everybody's, he'll come out in front of the camera, say what people need to hear. Everyone will hand over their money. Oh, Jay-Z's leading the culture, rah, rah, rah. And then really, as you were saying, who's actually benefiting? What are we actually, what's the big changes?
Exactly. There's no benefit to black people. There's benefit to his money.
Yeah.
There's no benefit to black people in general. Like, did he say, okay, we're going to keep the company, we're going to make sure that we have some black CEOs there, we're going to make sure we run the apprenticeship scheme to make sure that some black kids get, are brought forward into the sort of corporate world? Nope. He just sold it off to Louis Vuitton. Mm-hmm. And they're probably going to just do whatever the fuck they want with it and people are going to forget that Jay-Z doesn't own the brand anymore, so they're still going to carry on buying the champagne. And he doesn't care because he's got paid. But yeah, anyway, I said I don't hate Jay-Z, but I just think to myself he's really unscrupulous when it comes to his business deals, and he will just use the imagery of it being us whenever it benefits
for me, it's
him.
embarrassing. I find it embarrassing that we have someone who has reached the heights that he has reached, and he continues to. He has gotten to that place actually by exploiting the movement. That's how I feel about it.
That's essentially what has happened there, yeah, for sure.
Look, I'm not gonna say some of Jay-Z's deals are questionable, but he has made a lot of black millionaires. Although, of course, it's benefited him in the process, but he has opened doors for people.
How many people?
Probably quite a few, to be
A
fair.
lot.
How many though, really? Considering, I mean,
Let's use
considering
Rihanna.
the community's investments in what he's doing.
As an example, right? And Rihanna's a big example. So Rihanna branches off, creates a makeup brand based off of Jay-Z's co-sign to her. He looks after her in her business dealings as well. She's built a $1 billion company that has many employees, all of which are from diverse backgrounds. So again, like, that's just one example. Like, he has given opportunities to people when where possible, but I'm not saying he's perfect. Like, his business dealings aren't great, especially with the NFL example. But again, he has opened doors on
He's
one hand
opened
as
loads
well.
of doors, man. He's opened
Yeah.
loads.
He has opened doors. I'm not disputing that.
He's done a lot for a lot of people. Like, even if you want to look at like the domino effect, you can. Matt's gonna hate this, but you can literally take Kanye West. As
How am I
that.
gonna hate that? Yeah, help Kanye West. He signed Kanye West. He gave him a platform, gave him money, gave him exposure, and then Kanye West ran with it. There's nothing to hate about that.
Yeah, I appreciate that then. But then there's also
I'm not
Beanie.
disputing
Wait,
that.
no.
My point is that why does he have to advertise things as if it was for everybody when it doesn't benefit anyone but himself? That's the point I'm making here.
Oh yeah, I get that. I get
And the
that.
one that grated me the most was the NFL deal because of the fact that he made out that Colin Kaepernick was being like unreasonable now with what he was doing, just because Jay-Z signed a deal to get paid by the NFL.
Yeah.
His
rhetoric. His rhetoric is very backhanded because he panders in his rhetoric. He'll talk about it like, "Oh, this is great for the community." Is it really great for the community? Who's really?
Jay-Z said that already. He said it already. He said, "I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man."
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
And that's why when you look at what he done to his friends, it makes complete sense. He's snake anyone to get ahead. That's what he would do.
Yeah.
The only one he ain't snaked is Memphis Bleak.
Well, yeah, but it's probably because Memphis is probably just like his yes brand, his weed man, his hype man. He just do anything for him, type of thing.
But he snaked everyone. He snaked. I mean, you can say he snaked Dame, but then some people say that's the one exception because of how Dame was moving. But he's definitely snaked Beanie, definitely snaked Kanye. Like he snakes people all the time.
You know what, the thing with Kanye, I understood his pain because Kanye thought of him as a, he, when they say sometimes never meet your idols because they'll disappoint you. And Jay-Z could have done more to support him as a friend. Do you know what I mean? As someone who's worked so closely with him and who has, in the eyes, like, to the public said, "Oh yeah, this guy's like, like family to me, blah, blah, blah." And then when he was going through actual crisis, he distanced himself completely.
Because it hurts his brand.
Yes, exactly. He's not really there for you like that.
He's there for you until it's gonna affect him.
Yeah, he's a fair weather friend. Yeah. He's a fair weather person in general.
But in his defense, in regards to Kanye, he put out over a lot of Kanye's nonsense for many years, and I reckon like the whole Kim Kardashian stuff was.
To be fair, fuck Kanye in it. So Fuck that shit.
But I was waiting for that. I was definitely waiting for that.
Yeah, like, I
Well,
don't care about Kanye West.
should
All
we
right,
move on
there's
to
two more
the
projects.
next
Two more
project?
projects.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Drake. Drake dropped a little 3-piece set. Scary Hours 2. If anyone remembers Scary Hours 1, that was actually quite a good little release. I think that one was only 2
That had
tracks though.
Diplomatic Community and a Murder.
The track with 21 Savage. What was that one called again?
What? Oh
That
no, a
was
Murder was on the winner when what they called the Canadian team that won the playoffs. The Raptors.
What is the track with Drake and 21 Savage called?
I am drawing a blank as well.
Sneaking, that's what it is. That was a banger. Anyway, so I'm expecting something of similar quality, and long story short, it wasn't that. It was the 3 tracks here. None of them were rubbish. Like, it wouldn't be fair to say they're rubbish, but they just weren't amazing. There's nothing being added to my playlist. The best track was Lemon Pepper Freestyle with Rick Ross, and people might argue that Rick Ross carried that track as well. As usual, there were a couple of quotables from Drake talking about how he'd been dropping classics over the years, and people don't realize they're classics till after a few years have passed. But just generally speaking, it was just a bit lackluster, and I think to myself, this explains why the album's been delayed. I don't think it's anything to do with any injury that he received. I think the quality of the music he was making was just shit, and someone's told him that, and that's why he delayed it all. Because if it was because of his injury that he had at the time, the album would have come out by now. It was meant to come out in January. It's now March, and the album's still not out.
I think a lot of the stuff from that Dark Lanes demo tape was leaked off the album as well.
Probably. And I also think to myself that, just generally speaking, I think he's in a bit of a rut, because if this is what he felt was acceptable to release as a project for Drake, then it's just not acceptable. Because let's put it this way: when he released Scary Hours 1, some of those tracks went into the top 10 of iTunes. I think Sneaky probably went to number 1. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And he had a video for it and everything. And then this one, I don't know what's going on with him at the moment. It's like he's lost his mojo for the first time ever.
I'd say that happened ever since Views.
No, because he's had massive tracks since Views came out.
No, he's had massive tracks, but in terms of actually putting together a good project, I don't. Well, okay, not good. They've been good, but of something of Drake's level, I think Views was the start of a decline in quality. He can have like amazing singles, which he has, and amazing features, like Grease, for example, the DJ Khaled one. Like amazing singles. He's always going to do at least one amazing single a year. But if you look at the projects that he's released after that, Dark Lane's demo tape was meh. Scorpion was okay. Like I can't even think of anything else that he's released. I'm pretty sure there's something else, another mixtape or something he's done. But
mate, I'm not gonna
I think the beginning of the end. Sorry,
that was it. It was God's Plan on Scary Hours, God's Plan on Diplomatic Community.
I enjoy Drake. I'm a Drake stan. This was hard. I'll hear no more blasphemy about Lil Drake. Thank you.
Look here though, the singles that you released already, they did no numbers.
What did Laugh Now Cry Later get? Because that was a good track.
Do you know what I reckon? The beginning of the end for Drake was it Pusha T when he talked about his son?
I
think the psychological warfare there.
That's the first beef that Drake's lost.
The psychological warfare there, I think, knocked him off balance.
To be fair, I don't think it was that. I think it was that he was hushed by what's the guy's name?
Jay Prince.
Because from like I genuinely believe he's sitting on something that's like just like a megaton bomb, like Hiroshima or something like that.
I don't. I feel like Pusha T's been in so many bad beefs. If someone had something on him, it would have come out by now. the guy is basically untouchable. The only thing you can say about him, about Pusha T, is that he sensationalizes his work in the drug game. He never
We
did
don't know if he
all the stuff that he
sensationalizes
said
it.
he did. Yeah, but that's
We don't
it.
know if
Like
he
nothing
actually
else.
sensationalizes it.
Well, if he was doing work to that level that he said he was, he wouldn't be a rapper, or he would have had a lot more wealth before rap. Like Yo Gotti's filthy rich before he was even a rapper. So that's one
That's
thing.
true.
Whereas
That's true.
Pusha was never had diamonds on him like that. Yo Gotti came into the rap
That's true.
scene with all sorts of shit on him.
But sometimes
yeah,
people just
anyway.
move like low key. But what I want to say is that this is that we're going to come out, and that did come out, were never really aimed at Pusha because he didn't really have anything to say other than, oh, you didn't move weight with your brother Malice. The disses were always aimed at Ye. They were always aimed at Kanye, and that's what I'm saying. He must have been sitting on something crazy, and it's like frustrated him. So because his first response to Infrared was kind of good, whatever the track was called, but.
But what did you think of Scary Hours? Like, what's your ratings? What was your favorite track?
Scary. I was saying before we started recording, but it was just, it just felt a bit underwhelming. Like the only good track was Lemon Pepper Freestyle, and that was only because Ross, like when Ross came on at the start, like the beat felt like it was made for him. He delivered, and then some, and then the remaining 4 minutes was Drake, and it didn't have the same quality that it had when it started. Not to say Drake did bad, I just felt like Rick Ross done so much better that I kind of wanted more from Ross than Drake, or I wanted Ross to finish it off as opposed to Drake. If that makes sense. And then the other tracks, that like What's Next, I think is the first one that was okay. Wasn't great. It was just like a run of the mill throwaway Drake track, and the one with Lil Baby was. It was okay. It was
I
okay.
agree. Yeah, I agree with that. I felt like it was boring as well. And Rick Ross saved the whole thing.
Yeah.
I also wanted to hear more of him too. I fully felt that way.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Drake and Rick Ross haven't made a joint project together.
That was
Okay, I
that.
know why they stopped talking a few years ago, but it's like they need to do one because they just work well together. And
They haven't missed. They haven't missed. Aston Martin music, Dice Pineapple.
Yeah.
They just don't miss.
Classics. I have to say the word for this project overall for me was underwhelming. That's the word I would use. Although I did like What's Next. I thought it was okay. I'd listen to it again maybe.
The more you listen to it, the better it gets, but it's okay at best.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And like looking back at what Scary Hours 1 was, that had God's Plan, that was like a massive hit. And I really like Diplomatic Community. So I feel like it just proves my point that there's been like a decline in Drake's quality.
Oh, guys, sorry to interrupt, but have we talked about Tory Lanez?
Nah, that's coming up.
Oh, we need to get a move on.
Yep. Tory Lanez dropped a project. What's your
Wait, are we going to rate this straight?
Let's talk about Drake. Wrap him up.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, 3.
3.
And I think we'd probably all go for lemon pepper chicken too, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I think to myself this was like a 2 ears project, to be honest with you, because if you got 3 tracks and 2 of them are bad, then that's going to be a 2 ears for me. And the standout song was Lemon Pepper Freestyle.
Sweet. Let's go to Tory Lanez.
I feel like this is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
But we ain't got time for a big one, guys. Tory Playboy gonna be short and sweet. He didn't sing for his life on this for me, so I wasn't a fan. Peace.
I'll go next. So I was confused. The first 2 tracks, he's talking about Meg. I get that. And then at the end of the second track, or it's the third track, I can't remember, he says he's not going to talk about this no more. But then he's still bitching and moaning about some girl that's now found another guy who's richer than he is. And that they should just get back together. And that he wanted to have kids and marry this woman. And
So
everything he found after he wasn't
Why
wrong.
do you think that
what
he
I
was talking about
gathered,
Meg? I don't
no.
get it.
What I gathered is because he mentioned something about having a main girl, and that
Yeah.
Meg was actually a side piece. So I thought, and how the situation with Megan actually blew up his main thing.
I
So I thought that
read it reverse.
I'm so confused why everyone thinks that he took about Meg still.
I think the
Because it
first
seems like
song
it is.
he said, "I'm not talk." I thought it was him saying, "I'm not talking about her. The rest of this project is about someone else." That's what I got.
Nah, I got as in he's talking. Because remember, after he broke up with Megan, he says it in the other album where he's singing for his life. He's like, "Oh, I found a new chick anyway. I got a new girl." So he can't have these strong feelings about this new girl when he's already like said that he loved Meg and all this stuff. I'm certain he was talking about Meg. That's what makes the most amount of sense to me anyway.
Fair enough.
But that aside, it was good music. Just a bit whiny. Just a bit whiny. But I liked it.
Manny, you want to go next?
I went already. I didn't like it. He wasn't singing for his life. I needed that. I needed that. I needed that soul. I needed that battle for freedom. You know what I mean?
It's because he knows his bus case, man. Like he's not going down. He's got a smoking gun, as they call it.
Yeah, probably.
Matt, Afia.
Matt, you go.
I'm just still confused why everyone thinks he's still talking about Meg. Like, R&B singers are going to talk about a woman they were in love with or a woman they thought they were going to be for the rest of their life, right? And they're talking about no one. That happens all the time. The amount of times Tank has sang about a woman and he's talking about no one. Tyrese talking about how you're going to act like that, or Sweet Lady, and he's talking about no one. Like, you need to like kind of stop it now. The only thing Tory Lanez does for the rest of his career is going to be about Meg, okay? Anyway, with that being said, I thought the project was dope. I thought the first 4 tracks were just complete fire, and the way they just completely flow into each other so well. The samples on here, as usual, Tory is sampling, but the samples are really good. I'm pretty sure he's got a Drake sample on track 2. And I can't remember what song it is that he sampled, but in my head I'm hearing the song, but I can't remember what the song's called. But I thought the sample use was just excellent. It kind of fizzles out a bit during the middle phase. I think Lady of Neptune, I didn't really like that song, but then I did like the song directly after with Chris Brown called Feels. But yeah, then the ending of the album is really solid as well. It's actually I said it on Twitter, and I'll say it here again. If shooting people makes Tory Lanez make better music, then he needs to shoot people more often, because he's just been on fire since he shot Meg. or if he even shot her or not. Allegedly, he's been on fire. So I want to see more of this from Tory. Great stuff, Playboy. Listen to it.
Protect black women.
What if Megan shot herself?
No, I'm just saying, like, just to counterbalance, protect black women.
Ah, okay.
Because, if he's making good music,
Listen
because
to Tory Lanez and
he shot someone allegedly, don't go around doing that, people. It's not a good look.
What the fuck?
All right, so can I go?
No.
I feel like we're in for a whirlwind of mood killing and disrespect to my boy Tory. But
the demoralizer has returned. Okay, so today we have some very rubbish projects, and I really wanted to start my listening with a very positive mind frame this week and give everything a fair chance. And for that reason, because I have a personal bias when it comes to Tory Lanez, not because of the Meghan situation. I was about to say Meghan Markle, Not because of the Megan situation, but because I just don't like his music. I find it misogynistic, rah, 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 whatever. But I wanted to put that to the side and give this a good listen. First thing today. And I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great project.
No way.
Oh, yeah. No, I liked it. Very much so. I listened to it twice today. Well, I listened to it the first time the whole way through. And then I've listened to half of it again. I didn't have time to listen because I wanted to give it a second run through, you know? And I made notes. My top track was Distance. It wasn't the I think it's called Feels or Feelings or something with Chris Brown. That was not my top. However, I do think that's the one that's going to get like the most shine on this project. I just feel like that's going to be the most popular. And it is a good track for sure. But my personal favorite was Distance. I thought the storytelling in it was fantastic. And that is what made this project for me. I say to you guys all the time, I just want to hear different stories. And he delivered. And the irony was, I think that's what Manny didn't appreciate. But for me, it changed my perspective of his creativity, his talent, his ability to tell stories and everything. And to be actually like heartfelt and, you know, it doesn't mean that he wasn't misogynistic at times or disrespectful. He's still calling women bitches and hoes every minute and whatever. But the content had enough depth to carry his story and like overshadow that for me. And I really enjoyed the project. I think for me overall, the note I made here was, I've already forgotten most of the project. However, I would listen to it again. I would, because there were some bangers on there. And I think this will be a great album for anyone who is in a ghetto love affair. Any ghetto lover out there is going to enjoy this project, or anyone in a toxic relationship, you will love it. There are some great stories on this project about toxic love. And if you know that's you, definitely give this a listen. Overall, it's a great project. I very much enjoyed it.
Jeez.
That was a really glowing.
Oh, there's a lot of really good sex music in there as well, by the way, guys.
Nice. Cool. So what's everyone's rating for it?
It's a 4, dog.
It's a 4. Okay,
4
cool.
for me as well.
Now, I'm going to give it a flat 3. And I'll tell you why. I'm not going to give it a strong 3.
After everything you just said there.
I'm not going to give it a strong 3.
That is prime demoralizer. That is literally demoralizing.
Let me finish. I'll tell you why. Because I feel I'm being gracious in giving it a 3 just because I don't like him. And I'm saying it. I'm being open. It's my personal bias. That's it.
Okay,
but I'm giving it a 3.
It's a 4 from Afia as well, guys. So
yeah, take the
well.
man away from the music and just look at it as the music.
I'll give it a strong 3.
It's a 4, and you know it's
I'll give it a strong 3. No.
All right, it's not Tory Lanez, it's Bobby Ains, and Bobby Ains gets a 4.
No. When you take away who he is, I give it a strong 3 regardless. Yeah.
No,
sure.
Laurie Taines is back.
No, I promise you. Even if it wasn't him, and I heard these, I would give it a strong 3. Do you know what? Actually, you know what I thought? This guy is like the SZA or Ari Lennox for men.
No, he's not.
That's what I realised today when I was listening to this project.
Someone like Chase Sons would get that. Not Tory Lanez. No, don't, please. SZA and Ari Lennox, right?
That's what I realised. Listen, I like SZA and I love SZA and Ari Lennox. I do. No, he's a SZA. He's a SZA for men. Yes, that's who he is.
No, yeah, left-handed or right-hand SZA.
He's ambidextrous.
Oi, because he can rap and sing. Oi.
Oh, his raps are a bit corny, but yeah. I thought those were the spotty parts. He
rapped on the last track. It was just the last track at the end he rapped.
That one was okay. The rest of there were some other raps and things he did I thought were a bit spotty.
It's a 4 then. It's off.
Anyway, should we do our after that bombshell? Should we do our?
Wait. What's Manny's rating?
Oh, sorry, I thought he'd done it.
Oh, 3.
Oh, so 3 4s and a 3.
Cool. So
Interesting.
myself, Manny. Follow us on EarSauce _ on Instagram. Follow us EarSauce _ on Twitter. Ollie, what's your Instagram?
You can find me on Twitter at OCClark_10.
Matt, what is your Insta?
My Instagram is at Mr_Matty Lee. My Twitter is at Mr. Matty Lee. Follow me.
Afia, and you?
I'm EarSauce.Afia, and you can find me on Instagram or Twitter.
Boom. This is EarSauce. Thank you for tuning in to episode 26. Chat to us. We'll be waiting for you guys. Safe. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.
Ciao.
The EarSauce Podcast.